I am really excited about doing this unboxing. This is a new lens from a company called MEIKE, who are probably known best for their micro four thirds cinema lenses, and their still photography lenses. And this is the first of a new generation of lens from them. This is a 50mm T2.1 cinema lens, full frame, not crop sensor or super 35 sensor. This is a full frame lens. So I'm going to unbox this in front of you guys and I'll tell you what I think of it, first impressions. Then I'm going to do some tests, focus breathing, out of focus and sharpness tests. And then you'll see some footage from the lens, and then I'll talk to you after using it for a while with the Canon C70. So I'm going to shoot some footage with the C70, but the sad part about that is I don't have the new Canon speed booster. So this will be a 75mm on it at the moment, but I will do a second review in about a week and a half's time, because I will have the Canon speed booster then, and I'll also test this on the Canon R5 in 8K as well. So there'll be two reviews in this lens, but I'm going to do this review now, do an unboxing, first impressions, do some tests and show you some sample footage. So let's get to unboxing it. Oh, before I unbox it, I have this. Now this is another lens to review in this big box. I'm a little bit worried what they've sent me actually, but this is also a cinema lens and it's EF mount too. I'll unbox that in a few days. We'll do another video unboxing that. So, smaller knife today. Okay. Okay, bubble wrapped. Oh, there you go. Look at that, that's actually quite a nice box. 50mm T2.1 cinema lens. Now I have this in EF mount. Now they do it in PL, EF, RF, E mount and L mount. And I do think they've got a Z mount coming later on. The reason I went with the EF is I can use the Canon speed booster for the C70, but I can also use this on my R5 with the Canon adapter, which is RF to EF, but this has a variable ND inside of it. Now I'll talk about this adapter in another video, but this is the reason why I went with EF. I can adapt it more. RF means that it would only be able to go on the C70 in the crop mode Super 35. I don't know if this is actually going to work with the speed booster. As I'm saying that, it might not work with the speed booster. Find out next week, because I will be testing this with the speed booster. Right, let's unbox it. Actually, let's talk about the specs of the lens because they're on here. Okay, this lens has 12 elements in 8 groups. It is a T2.1, not F2.1. Okay, so that's transition of light. And the maximum aperture is T22. It's 50mm focal length. Its minimum focus distance is 0.6 meters or 60 centimeters, which is pretty good. And its focus rotation, wow, is 330 degrees. Wow, that's a lot. And its filter size is 82mm. So that's basically the specs of the lens. Wow, okay. That is a really nice looking lens. I have to admit, that is a beautiful looking lens. The finish on that is so nice. I know it's only a small thing, but when you've got a lens with such a nice finish, wow, okay. That is very, very light. That's smooth the whole way around. There's no tightness anywhere in that. That's really nice. And then you've obviously got the declicked T-stops, obviously because this is a cinema lens, not a photography lens. So that's actually very, very, very smooth. Okay, take that off. So I'll show you the front, which looks like that. Now the nice thing with this is you can actually get a smaller matte box to fit this. I will cover that in my next video because we don't want to drag this video out too much, but this is an 82mm filter thread. If I show you, if I put that there, if it doesn't roll away, okay. If I show you a 50mm Canon cinema lens, there, you can see the difference in size. There's quite a big difference in size there. This is the Canon 50mm Cine, and it's a T1.3 lens. It's a very different type of lens. Now, I will also do a comparison of these two lenses in the other review. So now is the technical side of the video. I don't normally do this in my videos, but so many people have requested that I do some tests in controlled environments. So what we're going to test is focus breathing. We're going to test out of focus area and also test sharpness at different T-stops. And Also, there will be some photos taken with the R5 at 45 megapixels at different t-stops with this lens. And those photos will be in a Dropbox folder, and the link to that Dropbox folder is in the description. So you'll get some idea of what this lens can do with 8K video, because it's 45 megapixels, which is close to 8K video from the R5. I can't put 8K video, sadly, in my Dropbox folder because it's just too large, and I don't have that much room. So the photos are down there for you to check out. Then after we've done the tests, there'll be some sample footage shot with the Canon C70. Now the first video you're going to see was shot with the Canon R5 and the 50mm f1.2 RF lens. I've done this video just to give you an idea of how bad focus breathing can be and how distracting it can be as well. Because obviously in photography you don't worry about the focus breathing, you just want to get from point A to point B and take the photos. But in the video world, you don't want the focus breathing because it can be quite distracting when you're going from one subject to the other. And as you can see, the focus breathing is actually quite bad on that lens. But again, it's not designed for video work, it's a photography lens. Now as you see the lens go from the front color checker to the back color checker with the fairy lights on, the focus breathing is very minimal. I've seen a lot worse from a lot more expensive cinema lenses than this MEIKE lens. So it's a really nice transition and it's not that noticeable. There is a little bit of focus breathing, but it's nothing that I would worry about. Now as you move on to T4, obviously the depth of field is larger, but I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what it actually looks like from T4, going through focus breathing from the front color checker to the back color checker. This is at T8. Just to give you an idea, I thought I'd just run through this. So at T8, it goes from the front color checker to the back color checker, and as you can see, focus breathing is there, but it's very minimal. As you look at the background, you can actually see the fairy lights have taken on a nice circular shape. And the out of focus area has a nice smooth, even texture to it. I've taken some photos of the Canon R5 and the MEIKE 50mm cinema lens at T2.1, T4, T8 and T22. Now you can download those photos because they're in a Dropbox folder, and a link to that Dropbox folder will be down below in the description. So now you're going to see a short video which was shot with the Canon C70 and the MEIKE 50mm lens. To give you an idea of how small this lens is from MEIKE, this 50mm full frame cinema lens, this is my 16-35 f4 EF lens from Canon. They're exactly the same height. There's not much difference in the actual overall size, to be truthful. Obviously the MEIKE lens is a bit heavier. This is a beautiful lens. I really do like this lens. It has a really nice look to it. It has kind of a vintage look, but not the vintage softness. It's a nice sharp lens, but it's not over sharp. I think sometimes you can have a lens that's too sharp and it can ruin the video. That's why I don't like to use photography lenses for video. I like to use cinema lenses if I can afford them and if I can get them in the focal length I need. But this is a really nice lens. Now, one thing I don't like is this really long focus. It's 330 degrees. I'm used to around about 280, 300. That little bit of extra 30 degrees does make a big difference. But I get used to it. But the actual focus, I thought it was smooth the other day. After using it for a few hours, it's really loosened up and it's beautifully smooth. It feels like it's actually got some sort of motor in there pushing it as you turn it. It's really, really nice. And I do like the T-stops. They're quite wide apart. which makes it really nice when you're actually trying to get the right T-stop on the lens, because obviously there's no electronic connection point at the back of the lens to talk to the camera. So the T-stops on here are nice, and they're nicely set apart too. So I do really like that. I really do like this lens. If you're looking for a entry-level lens, I would say, because this is $1,000 US, as opposed to most cinema lenses start from $4,000 to $5,000. This is an absolute steal for that price. I can't get over how good it is and how nice it is to use, and its size, and it looks good too. It really, really does look good. So next week, there will be another video on this lens. This time we're going to be testing it on the Canon R5 in 8K RAW, and also on a production version of the Canon C70. And I'll also test it up against a Canon Cine 50mm T2.1 cinema lens. Now, if I've missed anything in this video and you want me to include it in the next video, please leave me a comment down below and I will try to include that in my next video. This lens is absolutely outstanding. The optical quality of this is on another level, and the build construction, it's worth a lot more. It feels like a lens that's $5,000 to $6,000 to $7,000 US, not $1,000. MEIKE have done a really good job with this, and I'm really looking forward to their other focal lengths they're going to be bringing out soon. So remember to keep an eye out for that video, which is coming next week. A link to MEIKE's website is down below in the description, and there's also those photos for you to download. There's a link to that Dropbox folder in the description as well. As always, thank you so much for watching.